Welcome to the Super Chevy Brothers Podcast. This is your host, Cheval, joined by your co-host, Chevar. Hey, Chevar.
No, I'm not Chevar. I would never be Chevar.
Why wouldn't you want to be me?
Because then I wouldn't be me.
That's an honest question. Why wouldn't you want to be me? Huh?
Because then I wouldn't be me. Like I said, that would suck.
I don't know. I think I'm pretty cool.
I disagree. Well, what you been up to, buddy? What you been doing?
I mean, do you really want to know?
I mean, yeah, that's why I asked. Yeah, so.
I think I've been voodooed.
By what? What were you voodooed by?
Yesterday.
Yesterday, what?
Around 7:15 p.m. I walked outside my home to take photos, Instagram photos of my wife.
Thought.
While outside, I looked to my left, then my right. Guess what I saw?
Your shadow?
No. A lump in the grass. I saw a lump. It was a gray lump and flies everywhere. Flies but you know how flies do, buzzing around.
Mm-hmm.
No, flies do.
Mm-hmm.
I walked up to the lump, and guess what it was?
What was it?
A kitten. A dead, mangled by the sun kitten.
That's gross. Why'd you tell us about that?
And flies were coming out of his mouth.
What is wrong with you? Why are you telling us about this?
And I was like, damn, son.
Why are you telling us about this?
Hold on. So then I continued to take Instagram photos of my wife. And then I looked again. This time, instead of to the left, I looked to the right. And I saw another lump, another gray lump. Maybe 7 meters away. Guess what the gray lump was?
What, another cat? Another dead cat?
It was another fucking dead kitten. I'm not talking cats. Cats die all the time around me. I think I found one every other day.
Still a cat, bro.
Kitten. This one missing an arm.
Okay, why are you telling us? Nobody wants to hear about this, dude.
But there is no blood. There's no blood.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I was shocked at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what to do. So I kept taking Instagram photos. Then I looked again to my next left. Another lump. Gray. Flies. It was another cat. I mean, it was another kitten. This kitten, no face. Not no face like the character, but no face it was either born without one or something ate the face off. But again, no blood. It was crazy. Then I noticed. Guess what I noticed, Vico?
What?
Won't fucking believe it.
I don't want to know. I don't.
They were in the shape where they were arranged in the yard in a way that if you put a line between them, it would make a pentagon or whatever that thing is.
That doesn't make any sense if there were three of them, sure.
That's the thing.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Okay, it's more like a triangle, all right? It's more like a triangle.
Oh, God.
But it's still pretty weird. Now, those cats hadn't been there earlier. I was outside earlier, but they were there then. And that's it. That's all I had going on. I also,
okay.
I played The Last of Us. The first. I played with Mom and Kalonica. And then, yep, that was it. I haven't played anything else all week. I just been. I mean, it's only Tuesday, and then I didn't have a weekend because I didn't have any days off.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but
That
that's
sounds
it.
trash, dude. Well, I mean, no, that makes sense. I mean, I started replaying Last of Us as well. Me and Haley are about a quarter of the way through, from what I
How do
remember.
you know?
Huh?
How do you know?
Because I've beat the game like 3 times before, so I know what happens in it.
Has she played it before?
No, she's never played it before. So she's never played it before, and I know the next one comes out this Friday. We have it already, and I know I want her to play it with me. So I was like, hey, we should play this one. So we've been trading off sections. We'll just, we'll have one controller, and we'll just go back and forth. One person will play one section, the other person will play the other one. She's having a little bit of a difficult time because, she's not used to playing, games where you have to sneak around a ton like this and stuff. But she's doing a good job. She's got the hang of it. I mean, Naughty Dog games are really on the rails. Is another thing I'm realizing, except for Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy. So, yeah, but no, we've been enjoying it. It's been fun. It's fun playing it through again. I cried during the intro scene again because.
Oh yeah, Mom and Kalonica. You should have
so
seen
sad.
Screaming and yelling, and then she was all upset, and then I think at some point we started yelling.
That is one thing I love about Haley. She doesn't scream when she gets scared. She just like gasps or something. She doesn't do that thing Mom does. She goes whoa, and like jumps on the couch and like backs up and stuff. She just like gasps or like jumps back a little bit. It is kind of funny because sometimes when she plays, she gets really nervous because it'll be one of the sections where the clickers are there. We'll kill all of them or we'll get past them, and she's still like sneaking around, like looking around corners, and I'm like, no. I'm like, it's safe. Like, you're good for that. Like, don't worry about it. But besides that, she's been enjoying it. She says she really likes the story and everything, and no, we've been really enjoying playing it together, at least because I wanted to play it by myself, and then I was like, no. I mean, I feel like she would enjoy it too because it's got a good story. One thing about playing the remastered version is, the game actually aged really well, especially remastered. Like, I feel like that's how I remember the game looking on PS3, and clearly that's not how it looked on PS3. So, the remastered version looks good. And compared to like I played Lost Legacy, which is probably I think the newest game Naughty Dog released besides the one that's coming out Friday. And yeah, no, Lost Legacy is probably the prettiest game I've seen on PS4, which we'll talk about later. But, yeah, no, it holds up pretty well. It plays good. I take back what I said. I told Chevar yesterday that I thought the game didn't look as good in 60 frames per second in the cutscenes, but once I was looking at it today, I was like, nah, bro, this game's pretty. But no, Last of Us 1 is still good. It's just it's a simple game. It's a lot simpler than I remember, and I'm actually gliding through sections of the game because I realize how easy it is to just sneak around shit. So yeah.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, all Naughty Dog games are simple games.
No, yeah, they are. Like I'm also playing. I also started Lost Legacy this morning, which it's only 9 chapters. I got 4 in within like 2 hours, so that's nice, and it's gorgeous. It's definitely. I mean, I feel like Uncharted 4 looked the same, but it does look slightly better than Uncharted 4. But it's also really good because it is less on rails. It's more like you didn't play Uncharted 4, so you don't know. But Uncharted 4, partway through, basically turns into like an open world game, and you get to kind of maneuver around and do your own kind of thing for like a big chunk of the game, right? So this whole game is just that. And after the intro sequence, the whole game is just that. Like, it's just a little open world section. You get to travel around, do the missions in any order you want to, and then you get through all 9 chapters at some point. So, it's a fun game though. I'm pretty sure I'll finish it.
1 week.
I'm pretty sure I'll finish it before Last of Us 2 comes out. But oh shit. Yeah, well, okay. I played a lot of games this week, actually. Me and Haley beat Katamari Damacy this week because we got it on Switch.
What does that mean?
the game has a campaign and we beat it. What do you mean? What does that mean? It has missions and then we beat all of the missions. Do you know how video games work?
Like 100%?
No, we didn't 100% it. We beat the main story. We only have a few missions left to go. There's a couple more constellations we have to make. But, dude, that game is fun as fuck. That's one of the most fun games I ever played. I can't stop playing that game, dude. It's so fun.
You get the mobile version.
No, I think I will. I think I actually want to go back and buy the PS3 version of it and some other versions because that game is so fun. And
what do you call those games where you just tap cookie tapper?
Just clicker, like click simulators or whatever. Yeah, micromanagers.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever. Clickers. I just call them clickers, but I mean, well, that's funny. Anyway, but yeah, no, I've been enjoying that. That game was really fun. We're just gonna wrap up the last missions on that, but for a PS2 game, and all they did was remaster the graphics. It aged really well, and it's a very simple game anyway, so it didn't need to do much. I do laugh, though, because the game is probably less than 4 or 5 hours, and I wonder what people paid full price for this game for back in the day, because I kind of might have been mad, especially when you had longer games back then. But, no, super fun game. Super fun game. It's been.
What is it, like a remaster? Or is it just the old game out again?
It's a remaster. They just updated the graphics. For some reason, it's only out on Switch and PC. For some reason, it's not out on PlayStation. But
nobody want that shit. Everybody want a new one.
Hey man, yeah, I want a new one. After playing the old one, I really do want a new one. It's super fun. Like it's fun. It's really funny. Like just the kooky shit that you pick up as you go on. Like all the weird shit people are doing. No, it's in like the way that they handle scale and stuff. Like as you make the ball bigger is really fun.
Days Gone.
Did we buy it?
Yeah.
I thought you said you did.
I don't know.
If you didn't, then we'll buy it. We'll buy it. It goes on sale like every fucking 2 weeks, so I wouldn't be surprised when it went on sale again in like a month. Besides that, though, I also beat Mortal Kombat Aftermath. I finally got around to that. And I beat it in 2 days because it's pretty short. And can we spoil it? Can we talk about it here?
I mean,
it's been a few weeks.
I guess. I mean, if you want to. I mean, what do you?
Okay. Well, I won't spoil it. I'll talk about it though. I actually liked this story a little more than parts of the original one, even though I mean it's a lot shorter than the original campaign. But I like the way they handled the story and how you go back in time through the original timeline and stuff. And like they did a good job not retconning too many things from the original story. I do like what they did with Sindel and Shao Kahn, though, even though I don't exactly understand what happened there entirely, because I feel like they keep changing the lore with that. Because I remember that the whole thing about, and this is sort of spoiler, not really. I remember the whole thing about Sindel being enchanted being like the truth. Like it was just like, that was a real thing. Like she didn't actually betray King Jared, and that, you know, Shao Kahn like stole her. But then like they retconned it, but then they didn't retcon. I don't know. So like, I don't know. I mean, did they ever say that before, or was this like the first time they revealed that like, oh, she was never tricking, she was never like under a spell or anything?
When they released her bio when the DLC for her DLC came out, they said people were upset. I don't know. People were like, so background. Sindel is a character in Mortal Kombat. She's like a queen, and
mom.
Yeah, at the point where the games start, she's dead. And I guess before this newest game, the lore was that, you know, she was married to another king, Jared. Shao Kahn came and smashed his brains in. He took her as his queen. And then she was defiant, so he killed herself. And he brought her back with an evil spell to keep her evil. And So she's a good guy, but she's been brainwashed to be evil. And now with the new game, the story is like, nah, that bitch wasn't brainwashed. She's just evil. She want money. She she uh she likes Shao Kahn because he's strong man, big muscles, hard
See,
nip.
and I almost wanted to be mad at that, but then I realized that like I don't know. I feel like we've always seen Sindel as that anyway, like in all of her representations in all of the Mortal Kombat
Well,
games.
like every
Anyway,
time she's
honestly.
in a game, she's a bad guy, except for
Yeah,
one
like
game.
she's always
And
a bad guy.
even if she's I don't know hypnotized or something, people making an argument that it's like, oh, they're taking the woman's power away from her and making her just it doesn't make sense. I mean,
Well,
her being
considering what she does in the
hypnotized.
story, I mean, she does it all of her own volition. So I mean, I think that's sexist to say that it's not like her own fucking idea.
Well, they're
Like,
like, now she's just an evil character with no, and she's a gold digger and da, 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 da. And like, hey, first of all, ain't nothing wrong with gold digging. I mean, if
yeah,
you got every other
it's sexist to
people,
think there's something wrong with gold digging.
no, gold digging's bad. But to say like, oh, now she's just a gold digger. No one says like, oh, now Shao Kahn's just a murderer. And then who gives a shit? It's just
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. Like everybody else is doing other shit in this game that's way worse. Like, what are you talking? And I mean, I feel like that just kind of clears that up more because I feel like I don't know. I feel like if we did try to make Sindel like a good guy, I feel like that would almost make her a different character. And at that point, just give me a new character. But I mean, I didn't mind the change. I didn't like whenever they like make that reveal or whatever in the story. I was like, oh shit. But like, I didn't think it was a. I saw people getting mad about it, and I was like, why? I didn't understand why it was something to get.
But that's one of the only problems with Mortal Kombat. There are too many neutral players and neutral characters, and too many good characters. Which is why, like in Mortal Kombat 9, they whittled them all down.
Yeah,
Like they killed off most of the characters.
Striker doesn't exist. We don't need Striker anymore. We have RoboCop.
But yeah, lots of the characters don't exist anymore, or they do exist, but they're dead. And it's more like how the first game was, where most of the characters are bad.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah,
have
exactly.
every fucking like cool character be a good guy. That just doesn't make any sense.
Hey, at least Havoc got a shout out in the DLC though.
Yeah, but Havoc shows up like 5 times in the game.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true. That's true. No, it was a cool DLC though. I enjoyed playing through it. I feel like Mortal Kombat still has the best fighting game story of any other game right now, honestly.
It's just more effort put into it than any other fighting game. I mean, that's just it. It's like if you play Tekken. I started Tekken's. I haven't finished it, but if you play Tekken or you play Street Fighters, it's just there's not that much effort put into it. Most of the effort is put into, you know, the characters and the fighting, and then once that's down, the story and all that is completely after the fact. I mean, even for Street Fighter, it was an add-on. It didn't even come with the game. For
Yeah.
Tekken's really weird because the story is really important to Tekken, like in an old school classic way where like all the character endings are kind of important and they tell you what happens and that's how you know where people are in the next story and all that stuff. But like, it's just they don't have good writers. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of these games are from Japanese studios, and they don't
just
have
want to make some cool shit.
Well, they don't have plans to have like real story there. It's like they'll give you glimpses of stuff, and then when the bar gets raised where you need a story,
when we actually have to connect shit, yeah,
right? And you've got to have these guys write. Like if the people who are making the game are writing this, it's gonna be trash. Look at, anything King of Fighters. The story's trash, right? I mean, it's interesting.
I was gonna say Kingdom Hearts, and I'm still gonna agree with you.
It's interesting, stupid stuff, but it's trash. Even Tekken is kind of like all the story modes in Tekken are always just the most ridiculous, horribly put together things, you know? So,
Yeah.
That's
bad.
it. I mean, I'm sure at one point when there's more, they've got to see how much money Mortal Kombat is making from this story.
It's making dumb amounts of money. I mean,
It makes some money. You're gonna get more plays and shit on YouTube and whatever because there's a story mode, because there's something else to show besides guys punching each other. You know?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's not just, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, like, people have gotten a lot more invested in the story since MK9. So yeah, I know it's a big thing for a lot of people. So no, I mean, I just hope they continue to keep this level of story up. I mean, I like it because it's jokey too. It doesn't take itself like super seriously because, I mean, it's more fucking combat.
And the performances are good too.
Yeah, the performances. The guy who plays Shao Kahn is great. Whoever does his voice does an awesome job. And
the guy who does Shao Kahn's voice is same guy who does, I think, Dark Side from or maybe that's Gearus. I don't know. It's someone from Injustice is the same guy.
Right. No, that makes sense. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm enjoying that. I got more into towers and stuff. I'm trying to upgrade all my stuff and get more costumes for all my people because I realize I have shit for most people in that game. But yeah, no, I've played a lot of shit this week. I'm hoping to get Last of Us 1 out of the way before 2 comes out so that I can get a refresher and that me and Haley can play that one together. Even though, it's supposed to be depressing or whatever, I don't really give a shit. I'm just looking forward to it. The game should be fun. But yeah, that's what I did. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, did you put that topic on here? The guy's Schindler List comment?
No, we can jump into that one first though.
Yeah, okay. Explain what happened, because to me this is just the silliest thing.
All right, so okay, and I can't show the tweet because I'm pretty sure the guy deleted it. But so
here we go. Let's just go ahead and start.
All right, you go ahead and read it. Just read it. Yeah. All right, so Last of Us 2 comes out this Friday, and we'll be playing it. We'll talk more about that later, whatever else. But last Friday, reviews came out for The Last of Us Part 2. And, I mean, among a lot of the reviews, there's a lot of there's a lot of good reviews. I mean, what was to be expected? It's a AAA game from well-known studio. It's a sequel to one of the most, notable games, 2013, that people have been looking forward to. Got good scores or whatever. But in one of the reviews, one guy decided that he wanted to compare it to something. So I'm joking. Sure, let me finish. I
have not said anything.
He didn't directly compare anything to anything. Before I continue, I just think this whole situation is funny. I don't take it entirely serious. I just think it's really funny. But in his thing, he said, yeah. So in a world of John Wicks, and by a world he meant video games. In a world of John Wicks, Last of Us Part 2 is Schindler's List. And for some reason, people on Twitter could not stop talking about it until maybe around today. I think I stopped seeing tweets about it. But yeah, people really tore that guy up for it. And they kind of started tearing a lot of different critiques of Last of Us 2. They kind of started critiquing it a lot because they're like, hey, y'all are just overblown. Y'all are because people were like, oh, it's not fun. It's just, wow, that's such a harrowing experience. It fucking changed me after I played it. Which it's fine to say, that's okay. It's just it's dramatic. I mean, what do you think, Chevar? What do you think? I'm gonna find the tweet while we talk about this.
I don't care about reviews. I don't read reviews anymore. I have the game. I already bought it. I'm gonna play it. So whatever. I just don't get the big deal with the guy. Also, he's not comparing the game to Schindler's List in the way that he's saying it is Schindler's List. He's giving.
I'll let the audience decide that when I find the exact tweet.
Find the tweet, but what he's saying is it's the same way if I said, in a world full of hamburgers, fucking Last of Us is a steak. I'm not saying Last of Us is as juicy and wet and delicious as a steak. I think he's just talking about the quality of that game Last of Us versus other games that you get. Just like the quality of Schindler's List, not just as a movie with thing, but like the story or whatever is a very different kind of movie than your John Wicks. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. I mean, I think he should have known not to say that because of how reactionary everyone is.
Right.
Can't say anything. You're going to say Schindler's List, you know people are going to come after you. But I don't think there's anything wrong with what the guy said.
Okay, so I have the tweet up on screen. He said, so this is the whole thread, but the specific tweet that people got weird about was, in a medium where everything is John Wick, The Last of Us Part 2 is Schindler's List. And just like that film, there were times where I wasn't sure I could keep going. It is a relentless emotional assault that I suspect will force even the most jaded gamer to feel empathy. So I get what he's trying to say, right? It's just that I feel like I get what he's trying to say. In a medium where everything is John Wick, first of all, it's bullshit. Like, oh, okay. From what they're trying to make Last of Us Part 2 sounds like you motherfuckers just saying it's a glorified Spec Ops The Line, but I digress. Which I know it's not going to be. But I just feel that it's not the fact that I get it. It's Schindler's List. People are going to take offense to that because Holocaust stuff, whatever, right? I just think it's funny that, like, I think Gita Jackson, she used to be a writer with Kotaku. I think she's with Vice now, but she put it perfectly. She was like, Children of Men is right there. Like, there are just better comparisons to make. I don't know. That's just my one thing. There's better comparisons to make. And also, like, I don't like that people are trying to say that this isn't a comparison because this is a comparison.
But how is that a better comparison?
Because it's literally like, okay, it's a better comparison because tonally, The Last of Us is a lot more like that. And also, I mean, it's literally like the same drab concept. You ever watch Children of Men? It's not a happy or fun movie, but it's still entertaining.
But is Schindler's List a happy and fun movie? I don't get like that's what I'm saying. Why is it okay for him to use one but not the? I mean, it's okay.
No. Okay, it's not that it's not okay. Like, it's just goofy. Like,
I feel like, well, how? That's what I'm saying. How is that goofier? I get it if you play the game and you think, no, it's not. It's not that. It doesn't invoke the same feelings. It is a John Wick of other John Wicks. If I get if that's what people are saying, but that's not what people are saying. People are saying, oh, it's using this movie instead. Like, what's the difference between using that movie and another movie? Because he's not saying that this game is that movie.
But like I said, no, he's not saying that. You're right. He's not saying. I'm not trying to say that he's saying that. I just think it's goofy because it's like, you know what? I feel like that extreme is ridiculous. Like that's. I feel like that's a ridiculous extreme.
If I say something like,
okay, I'm just saying this tweet would have had the same tone that this motherfucker would have said Roots or fucking 12 Years a Slave. Then I would have laughed my ass off just as much, honestly, because I would have thought that's hilarious.
I just don't get where it's hilarious.
To say that this game is as dark as something that's based on a true event as I think where people got their, and I agree with this point of view. No, I don't. I'm saying I think that's where people got cross about this tweet. I just think it's funny that this guy couldn't find something else to compare this game to that has nothing else to do with it. Okay. That's what I'm at this point as a writer, just because I'm like, listen, there's other ways to use metaphors and compare things to things. But also, I also realized this is Twitter, so the guy was just trying to get a quick point across. So,
but you're literally saying he should have used the same metaphor, but with a different movie. Yeah. That doesn't make sense. Yeah. That doesn't make any sense. Now you're saying you can't use the metaphor in the way that you're trying to use it. You should use it in a different way, but it means the exact same thing. But it's goofy if you use it another way because that movie, for whatever reason, is more regarded because it's based on a factual. It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, that's why it's an opinion, my guy. I mean, people just didn't like it. I mean, like I said, like he didn't. I don't think what he did was wrong. I just think that there's better ways to write things. But then, like I said, I also understand Twitter's not the best way.
What I'm saying is what people didn't like is not what he did.
But it is what he did.
When you read the comments, they're like, oh, you're comparing this. You're saying this movie is this game. This game is this. That's not what he's saying.
Okay, Chevar.
If I say
okay,
you're the
I'm gonna
build,
Google.
if I say you're
Google what
if
comparison definition.
if I say you're the build to my Ted, I'm not saying you're a fucking idiot and we play guitars fucking cool and we're gonna save the goddamn universe. That's not what I'm saying. You have to take.
I'm just
the
saying
relationship.
that I'm just saying that literally, by definition, he compared The Last of Us to Schindler's List by pure definition of language.
What did he compare it? How did he compare it? That's what's important. It's not that he compared it as in the greatness of them or the sales numbers. He compared those two in relation to other things in there. I'm not caping for anyone. I'm just talking what makes sense. I don't like when people jack off to things they don't even understand. He's comparing the movie and the game within their mediums to each other. That's what he's doing. And we do that every day with everything. I don't get why you can't do it with Schindler's List.
Like I said, it's a matter of opinion. I mean, like I said, I just don't.
But you just said
I don't agree with you because objectively he is comparing Last of Us. Like if you go by straight up definition of what a comparison is, he compare. Yes, you can add more of the context to it. Yes, yes.
So he's
comparing everything else to John Wick, and then he also is comparing The Last of Us to Schindler's List. It's objective. Like
no.
Okay, so we're just changing the definition of language now.
No, it's called scale. It's called scale. He could have done the same thing with food. He could have done it with music. He could have done it with everything.
I can't wait until you get a MAGA hat and you start doing all this free speech shit.
It's not free speech. I just don't like when people take words, don't understand what they're talking about, and then have all these opinions. Because that's what happens every day. And this is one of those things where it's like, clearly...
So wait. Say what you just said one more time.
Why do I have to say it? It's recorded.
Because it was funny. Because you said that you just don't like it when people have opinions.
I didn't say I don't like when people have opinions. I don't like when people... First of all, a lot of it is in bad faith because people aren't that fucking stupid. Second of all, it clearly is not what he was saying.
Yeah, but okay, like I said, and I said this to you when we tried to talk about this yesterday too. I mean, I'm starting to get to the point where I don't take Twitter seriously because it's difficult to have discourse like this. Because you're right. I feel like if this guy wrote this anywhere else, right, I think it would have eventually become a joke on Twitter, but it would not have been blown up anywhere outside of that more than what it was, right? I feel like what he did, I don't agree. Like, listen, my opinion is I think that there's just better ways to talk about it.
If he had said the same, are you back now?
I've been back.
Nah, you were gone.
Well, anyway, good.
Audio was out.
I keep the video version anyway, so it's awesome. I get to keep
the video version is gonna be fucking cut. There ain't nothing in there. You didn't say anything. You were sitting there.
How's my cut? I'm recording it from my screen, you big dummy. So basically,
from your screen.
you're just gonna keep talking over me. So we're recording a show. So basically, I mean, you know, I just think that like even the John Wick part, I think is like I feel like his whole metaphor is shit because I feel like that's one unfair to video games. I don't know what he's trying to say. Like I feel like this takes me back to 2013 where we were kissing The Last of Us's dick back then and I love that game. I do. I think The Last of Us is a great game. I don't think the story is as, you know, complex and dark and incredible as people try to say it is. It is those things, but people, I feel, blow it out of proportion. And I feel like this is that is what this is to me, is just that blowing it out of proportion. That's what it is to me. I get it. To me, I don't agree with it. Not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying he can't do that or that it's not allowed or that that's stupid or what. I'm allowed to think it's stupid, sure. Like I am.
Okay. Let's draw a line here. No one is saying people can't think things or think things are bad or good. I'm not saying that. So stop doing that. You do that like every week. Let's put an end to that. Okay. Let's stop doing that because that's what all your arguments end up being. Is that you're saying people can't say anything?
All right, where's the butt?
There's no but. You stop doing that. First of all, people say stupid shit. People are not smart. Most people on this planet are not rational. Most people don't understand half the things they say. Most people can't even speak their language correctly. All right. So it's okay if we say that people's opinions are dumb and bad and stupid. If I can say that, so can everyone else. So when I say
Lecture Hour brought to you by the Super Chevy Brothers Podcast.
So when I critique someone's opinion or people's opinions, I'm not saying they can't have them. I'm just saying they're stupid. And I'm trying to explain why it's stupid. Now, you're trying to tell me why his comment was stupid, but you haven't really said why. You just say...
I said in my opinion, I feel like there's better comparisons you can make, and that Schindler's List is the first thing that comes to mind. You need to figure out either more about film, or you need to stop comparing video games to film and find something else to talk about something.
Why?
Because I feel like people, especially people who use the English language, we love to use metaphors a lot, but we use them poorly, we use them terribly, and we don't use them appropriately. And we use them as crutches instead of using them to enhance what we're trying to say. And I feel like this was one of those situations. So I'm allowed to feel that.
Why is this a bad metaphor? Please explain.
It's a bad metaphor because, like I said, it's overblown in the first place. It's not a bad metaphor objectively, if that's what you're looking for. I don't like the metaphor, so it is bad to me. So I don't like the metaphor because I feel like when it comes to Schindler's List and Last of Us, I don't think that those things are comparable in my head. I like that disconnect. That disconnect doesn't make sense to me. I also don't think of all other games in a medium where everything is John Wick. What the fuck does that mean? Is Inside John Wick? Is half the other shit I played in the past year or two John Wick? Is Dark Souls John Wick? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? So that's why I think that he can shut the fuck up. I think the whole metaphor is trying to take this game where a lot of other games have had emotional storylines and all these other cool things happen in them. And just because Naughty Dog can make bantery dialogue sound better than some other companies, that people want to come in here and suck this game's dick and compare it to Schindler's List at how bad it made me feel. As if, there aren't fucking games that have done this before. And that's why I don't like the metaphors, because I feel like you take these basic concepts for these things and try to use them to connect this bridge between video games and film, but it doesn't connect when one is completely and totally and utterly like not comparable to that other thing. Like, I feel like that's just like that's a way to just generalize everything in the genre. And I feel like using Schindler's List as a way to use The Last of Us, those things don't match up. They don't compare. Like, I don't think that's a good comparison. That's it. Like, I don't think so. And that's my explanation. Is that what you wanted?
Well, yeah, it's nice to hear you say something without insulting someone. It is sometimes.
Yeah, his opinion. Yeah, the way he said it is fucking stupid.
Yeah, never mind. You couldn't even get out.
The way he said it was fucking stupid. And I mean, what I don't like after that is that writers have this thing where he's been like the past like several days being like, well, actually, this is what I meant. And it's like, no, after you put that out there, you just kind of, you explain it, but you don't have to keep like going after people being like, well, this is what I meant. 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 You stand by your metaphor and you just move on. Like, I don't get the point of trying to, I get it. If people want to understand what you're going to say, they're going to understand what you want to say. Because I understand what he's trying to say. I just didn't think it was put very well as a writer. I feel like it was put poorly. Like, I get what he was trying to say. I just felt like it was like, because the rest of his shit was garbage too. Like, he also said, like, in short, The Last of Us 2 put me through hell. I did not enjoy it. I wasn't supposed to. I was affected by it like no game before. Like, what? Like, you didn't enjoy it? I'm playing The Last of Us 1 right now. It made me cry. I'm still enjoying it. What the fuck does that mean? I'm not going to play a game if I'm not going to enjoy it. So, like, I'm, like, no. I feel like I get what you're trying to say. The guy's metaphor, it's his own metaphor. That's what he thought of. That's what he used. Great. I'm allowed to think it's not cool. I didn't say that you didn't say it's not allowed. I'm allowed to think it's not cool, right? I think the rest of his analysis is also trash. I feel like the rest of his analysis is just like heavy on like trying to be as dramatic as you possibly can be. Because whenever you say that you did not enjoy a video game, you should not be giving it a 5 out of. You should not be giving it a 10 out of 10 or saying that it's great. Because it's like, what? Like, that's what people say about Superman 64. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Round 2. Fight.
Hello?
It's you. Your name is on the document, you big dummy.
It says Chevall GI Persona 4.
Oh, okay. I thought we were on the
A
next
Chevall.
Shut up. Okay, let me do it. You gonna let me do it?
Yeah,
You gonna let me do it?
Get
You gonna
off
keep
my
talking?
balls.
Yeah, get a haircut, motherfucker. All right, so Persona 4 Golden.
Says the guy
on
with
Steam
long
now.
hair than me.
Yeah, because I'm
Jesus.
growing dreadlocks. At least it makes sense for me. Go to a barbershop, my nigga.
I'm growing an afro. You dick. It's an afro.
You need to pick it out then. You need to comb your hair. I
It
see
is
the naps in
combed.
the back.
How are you gonna see the naps in the back?
That's how bad it looks. That's how bad the naps is. So Persona 4 Golden is now on Steam. It's on PC, which it leaked a few weeks ago, and people were thinking that it was, well, it leaked last week. People thinking it was a hoax, but it ended up being true. You can get it right now for $19.99 or with the soundtrack and art book for $24.99. It also has remastered visuals and it'll run at 60 frames per second or whatever frame rate you want it to run at. And it also has both audio tracks, so you can play in Japanese or English, whatever you want to do. So the thing is that people were asking for this a long time ago, and then I thought it was funny because people were making jokes about how now the Vita is like dead because I mean the Vita has been called like the Persona 4 machine for like so long as like a joke, even though I use my Vita for a lot of stuff still. But yeah, no, I mean this means the series could come to other consoles and stuff too. Probably Persona 5 might come to PC. We'll see. But I mean, like, what do you think? I mean, this is a pretty big IP for Sony. So I mean, like, does this mean the rest of them are coming to something? I mean,
well, it's not a Sony game. This is just a holdover from the old Japanese thing where they know how to make a thing for one thing, and that's why they make it for one thing. It's not on Xbox because Xbox isn't Japanese. I mean, and that's that. That's that. It isn't on a Nintendo DS or whatever because they don't want to make it for DS. If Xbox had been a Japanese company, it'd probably be on Xbox too. That's all. That's literally it.
yeah.
It being on PC now is just because they know foreigners will buy it. Japanese PC market is very, very thin and very, very niche. Those people are still playing Stardew Valley.
I'm still playing Stardew Valley.
No, I mean like it's Grand Theft Auto 5. That's it. So like that's why you don't see lots of games, Japanese games, move over to PC in the same way where you see almost nearly every non-exclusive, American game or European game. So I mean, it's not a surprise. I'm just wondering if it runs well because that's usually the problem you get when you get these people who only know how to make something for one thing.
No, it runs well.
I
follow a lot of people on Twitter who bought it as soon as it came out, and they've pretty much beat it and like gotten through most of the game, if not beat it. And it runs well. It runs really well. You can do 60 frames per second. Visuals are a lot sharper. Looks better than it did on the Vita just by default because that game came out like fucking 10 years ago. But no, it looks good. It runs well. Nobody's had any problems with it so far.
Her hands smell like dead kitten.
Okay, well, but yeah, no, I'm probably gonna buy it soon. I need to replay Persona 4 Golden anyway, but I'm probably gonna do it after I finish my playthrough on Vita. I just want to look at it on a bigger screen, and I'm not gonna lie, the PS Vita TV does not look good. So, yeah, no, I mean, I might buy it soon. We'll see. I own this game fucking 3 times already, so it's time I stop buying it. But it'll probably go on sale on Steam at 1.2, and it'll be like $3. So I'll probably end up buying it anyway. But yeah,
Don't buy it till you get a computer, man. Don't buy it till you get a computer.
My girlfriend has a computer.
Not a computer.
Yeah, but I don't know. Persona 4 Golden. I saw a lot of hot takes this came to PC, like people being like, "Oh, it's a lot better than 5," which I don't know about that. I haven't played 5 R yet, but I don't know about that. I mean, I feel like 5 is better gameplay wise by far. I do not think 4 was better in that respect for the most part. But I saw a lot of hot takes that day. People being like, "Wow, they should have just remastered 4 instead of releasing 5." And I'm like, "Fuck you." 5 was great. So no, I'm excited. I just think that this is now Sony fanboys gonna get mad again about something that they think was exclusive getting ported to something else. But I mean, I like Persona. I just think it's cool that more people get to play it since
I don't think anybody looked at. I don't think anyone looked at Persona as like a PlayStation IP though.
Well, yeah, no, they did. I saw a lot of people talking about that. They were like, "Oh shit, this is a PlayStation thing." Because the only other console that Persona is on, not the Shin Megami
Nintendo?
Tensei series. No, Persona isn't on. No, Persona isn't on Nintendo consoles. Shin Megami Tensei is on Nintendo, but
but those are not that. I mean, it's the same company. They switched back and
not the
forth
same
in the
game. No.
games.
Not the same game.
I mean, I didn't say the same game.
Yeah,
but
Persona series almost seemed like its own thing, and since it came out, it's been on PlayStation. And I think I think Persona 1 or 2 is on PC. That's the only one that was on PC. So people were saying this is the first Persona game on PC, but it's not. But a lot of Persona 3 fans are mad because they've been asking for multiple versions of 3 to be on PC for years now. So, but I don't know. I think it's cool. I just think it's cool that more people get to play the game. I just think that they're going to keep doing this probably in the future. Just after they release on PlayStation, it'll probably just come to PC at some point. I think it's cool that people get to play Golden outside of the Vita because you can't play it anywhere else at all. And it's so much better than the vanilla version of Persona 4. So, yeah, no. I'm just glad people get to play it now. And it's not, trash.
well, there's Persona Q on the DS.
It's not the same.
But it's the same franchise. I mean, you can't. It's like it's Persona.
It's not the same.
It's
not the. Well, no. I'm trying to say like how people see it. Like it's not the same franchise. That game is actually more like the
Persona Q is not Persona.
No, it's not. I'm trying to tell you, it doesn't even play like a Persona game. It plays like
I know it doesn't play like a Persona game.
The map dungeon games or whatever that are on 3DS. That's what it plays like. It's not even the same kind of game. It's an RPG, but it's not the same game. But yeah, no. I mean, no. I think it's cool. I just wonder what'll happen in the future. I wonder if next time they make a Persona game, they're like, fuck it, it's on PC or Xbox as well.
I mean, I'm sure they will. There's no reason not to. Yeah, there's no reason not.
Now multiply from 10 backwards. 3 times 10 is 30. Going 3 times 9 is 27. 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 4 is 12. And 3 times 3 is 9. And 3 times 2 is 6. And 3 times 1. What is it? 3! Yeah, that's a magic number.
So do you purposefully pick the longest things you can find?
Longest or loudest?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Longest or loudest? So we talked about last week how I thought the Spider-Man game, the Miles Morales thing, is not. I thought it's an expansion, an add-on. Pico is surefire, balls to the ceiling that it would be its own full separate game. So PlayStation has cleared this up. I guess Insomniac has as well. They sent out a tweet saying it's a standalone title, not just an expansion to the Spider-Man game. So that
it's its own game.
I think
of it as like Uncharted Lost Legacy or like Infamous Last Light.
Yeah, except it's just gonna be with the game. I'm sure you get.
Can you send me this link of whatever you're talking about? Because I found the quote that I think you're talking about, but there's no point where he says it comes with the Spider-Man game that's on PS5. There's no point where he says that.
I'll find it.
Yeah, you need to send that to me.
I doubt you buy this game alone. I'm pretty sure it'll be a whatever. What's it called? Marvel Spider-Man remaster or upgrade PlayStation 5 version, and there will be Miles Morales with it.
No, what do you mean? What do you think standalone means? It means you get to buy it separately.
Maybe
that's what standalone means. No, I just said it's like Last Light and like Lost Legacy. You don't have to have Uncharted 4 to have Lost Legacy. You don't have to have Infamous Second Son to play Infamous Last Light. They're separate games. They're their own games. But different from those things, Last Light was a prequel. Lost Legacy was a prequel. Guess what fucking Miles Morales is? It's not a prequel. It's a sequel because it's after the events
of the
original game. Huh?
I don't see whether it's a sequel or prequel.
It's a sequel. I don't know why people don't understand what a sequel is. If it continues,
but hold on, hold your horses. What I was saying, if you would let me finish my sentence, I was saying that I don't think it matters whether it's a sequel or a prequel. That's not really important to this conversation.
It's a standalone game. Insomniac said it's a standalone game.
Okay, here it is.
Its own game.
SIE's European Business EVP claimed it's an expansion and an enhancement to the previous game.
Yeah, he's just an EVP who says shit. He's not saying it's literally an expansion pack for Spider-Man. That's not what he's saying. He's not saying this will be a game available on PlayStation 5 with the original Spider-Man. I'm sure you can probably do that, but it's its own game is what I'm saying. Like, I'm sure that they'll have a bundle, but it's its own thing. You don't need the original Spider-Man to play this, is what I'm trying to say.
Maybe.
Insomniac released a fucking tweet that says it's a standalone game. They're the people who made the game, Chevar.
We'll see. I mean, we can only wait.
We can only what? We have the fucking information in front of us. Why don't you just admit that it's a What does standalone mean to you? Fallout's first DLC isn't standalone. You need the game to play it. What does standalone mean, Chevar? It's literally in the fucking name of the word.
I have a feeling.
Oh my god.
That when you buy this Miles Morales game, it will have the original Marvel Spider-Man with it. That's all I'm saying. I don't know
just because okay, so who is this guy again? He's an EVP, right? He's just some fucker who does shit for Sony, right? Not the guy who makes the game. I also saw people who wrote on the game having to respond to people on Twitter who were like, it's an expansion pack to Spider-Man PS4 and say, no, it's its own game. Like people who don't work for Insomniac, black people who wrote on the game, like they went and hired a bunch of other people to work on this thing. They are saying it is its own game. So I don't know why you're arguing this. Like the people who, not the Sony EVP, who's a third party that deals with Insomniac and then public. No, Insomniac Games said it's a standalone game. I don't know what's so hard to understand about that.
For me, I'm not saying it's hard to understand, but for me, if this were my game and I were having this confusion, and if my game were a game that you could just buy on its own,
and you would say standalone, right?
No, I would say it's a separate game. I would say you don't
Oh my
need...
fucking god. We live in hell where people can't understand simple language from the guys who made the game. If an EVP says it's an expansion, an extension, he's just using fancy words to say the game is better than the last one. That's all he's saying. He would say that The Witcher 3 is an expansion, an extension of The Witcher 2. That doesn't mean anything. He's just saying shit. He doesn't know the real lingo of the shit. He's just some dude who deals with it. He's from Sony Europe. He doesn't even really have anything to do. Somebody asked him in Europe, asked the dude in Europe who deals with Sony a question, and he just answered it. Doesn't mean he actually knows shit about it. And then you have a tweet coming from the people who made the game, and you're still like, I don't know. So like I said, they probably will sell both games together for PS5. I get that, but it's its own game. I don't know what's so hard to understand about that. Like, it's its own game. What game has an expansion pack that you can play alone that's not its own game? Far Cry Blood Dragon. That's its own game. It's not an expansion. It's its own game. It's not an expansion pack. It's a different game.
Okay.
All right, whatever. Let's just go to the next topic. You're gonna just.
I mean, you're really passionate about it.
Fuck you. Go to the next thing.
What? Why do you get like that? That's not necessary. You ever been to a fandom, Biko?
No. What is it?
Oh, why you get so down?
I said no. What is it? What are you doing?
But you said it like no.
What is it?
You know what it is?
No. What is it? That's what what is it means.
Are you saying I know?
I'm about to get the fuck out
is.
the Zoom call if you don't move on.
Relax. Why do you get so upset?
Because
words. I'm a little dyslexic. I was putting them backwards. I thought you were saying I know what it is. A fandom is some bullshit DC just made up today. So they're going to be having a what do you call it? A virtual event where you can I guess get online and go to multiple rooms online and see these panels happening. They're going to go over everything DC. So this is really a Warner Brothers thing. So it's going to be everything, all the comic stuff, all the movie stuff, all the TV shows that are trash. But we also might get some new video game news. We might get a new Batman. We might get a Superman game everyone's been asking for, or a Justice League game. We might get... or I don't know. They might. There are also rumors that Warner Brothers is planning to sell off their video game.
They're gonna.
Why?
Because they're just gonna.
Well, why would they? They make so much money from it.
I don't know. Rich people do some dumb shit.
Yeah. If they do sell it, I think that'll be the death of Mortal Kombat right there.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know why they would sell it. I mean, I thought those things were pretty, profitable, but whatever.
I mean, they're games that what games does WB put out? There's Batman. Do they do the Mordor stuff? Yeah. Is that them too? Yeah. Like, their games are usually pretty big, lots of budget, and I'm sure it costs a lot, but I'm sure they make tons of money. I mean, even Mordor, with as much people hated it for the DLC, sold a ton and was really popular. So
no, it was a good game. It was very well liked.
Anyway, fandom. So are you tuning into the fandom? You have to. This is your responsibility.
I'm sure not. I mean, listen, I don't know. DC's kind of been disappointing me recently. So, I mean, I'm watching. I'm gonna start watching Doom Patrol soon. I heard that was good because I got HBO Max. But I don't know. I don't know about this. I mean, I'm sure it'll have some cool stuff. I'm sure there'll be some good animated movies. That's the only thing I really like from DC anymore. Anyway, not really looking forward to anything about the motion pictures because a lot of those are trash. But no, I mean, I might pop in. We'll see what happens afterwards. I can always catch what happens afterwards. So, not really super invested in tuning in.
It's just like any other comic book convention or something. It's just going to be, I mean, there'll be news. There will be an announcement of some new movie or something. They killed off the DC universe already. So,
yeah.
There will be something. When is PAX, the PAX convention around the same time? So Fandom is August 22nd. When is PAX?
I have no idea.
What your computer's for, buddy?
Well, I'm sort of like showing stuff. So never mind. Okay, cool. I mean, it's not like you have a computer or anything either, but whatever.
I'm looking. Relax. Don't get come on. PAX is going to be, November. So it's not the same time. It'll be in November, Friday, November 20th. Is PAX's digital convention, PAX Online.
Okay.
Or Unplugged, or whatever the fuck it's going to be called. Who knows what it's going to be called now. Yeah, we'll see. I'm sure we'll get news there too. But, I mean, if you like DC, get ready for the fucking...
That's not annoying at all.
I sneezed. I'm sorry.
It's not annoying at all.
I sneezed.
All right.
Why'd you give me this one?
Because I thought it was funny. I can do it.
No, okay. Little devil inside developers. Ew. Little devil inside developers apologize for promise to change racist enemies designs. Okay, when I first saw this trailer, I knew someone was going to say something about the little dark guys with the dreads. First of all, Little Devil Inside is one of the trailers that played during the PlayStation event thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was the one I thought was super boring. Yeah.
Right, because you didn't watch it. And then
I did watch it. I just thought it was boring.
So, in part of the trailer, you see the main character, the guy you supposedly play, running away from a group of natives. I don't know. What do you want to call it? I don't know where he is. It looks like a forest, so it's kind of weird to have people. And they have masks and dreads, and they have dark skin. Of course. People are upset. And they put out a statement. We were not aware of the stereotypical connotations, which doesn't make sense. You have to know.
Yeah, no.
Where are these guys?
I don't know. Where is this? I haven't seen exactly where they're from. Okay, NeoStream. Let's see. NeoStream is from. I do not know. I cannot find it. Anyway,
I think it's a little silly that people want them to change. To change that. I mean, it's really not. Like, I get it. Depictions of dark people in media tend to be stereotypical, and they tend to be cliches, and they tend to happen all the time and frequently. But also, do we also want every character and every picture and characterization to be like a white dude?
but Chevar, the skin tone alone is not the only thing that people are mad at that makes this thing look bad. It's not
right. People have said about
point. It's not just the skin tone.
Okay, so when I look at this looks like, to me, a mask. Pico says these are not masks; these are their faces with lips.
I feel like, and now that I'm looking at it, I feel like either way, it doesn't make it look any better. Mask or not, I don't care. It doesn't look good.
Okay, explain to me why it's bad.
It has the big fucking red ass lips, and it's a dark skinned person with dreadlocks who's a savage in the forest. I mean, I don't know what else you need me to explain about.
First of all, we don't know if they're savages. Okay,
they're literally running at him with blow darts while they're wearing masks and like howling things in the trailer. Like, what do you mean?
Are you calling Aborigines savages? I don't think so. They're not savages.
Okay, sure. Never mind.
Well, I'm saying, hey, like the.
All right, come on, keep tap dancing for the white man. Keep doing it.
I'm not tap dancing. I'm just saying. All right, if these, what do we want to change here? The mask?
I think the dreadlocks need to go too, and I don't care about the skin tone. I feel like the dreadlocks need to go, and if you're gonna have a mask, don't have anything with big lips on it. I feel like that's just self-explanatory. They also kind of admitted that the blow dart looks like a joint on purpose, so they said they need to make it look less like a joint, even though that wasn't even one of the original critiques. So they were clearly going for something.
Can we see other pictures of those things? Because
no, those are only pictures.
I see the one. Well, there have to be more. There's a whole trailer with them running through, right?
Well, that was like the main picture. I mean, they weren't like the main part of the game. I mean, they were only like 1 or 2 frames. So
hold on, because to me, looking at all right, if we can't do, when can we have dreads? When can we have this stuff?
When dreads are also just a regular hairstyle for other people in your video game and not specifically for the people who are coming out of the forest shooting blue darts at you with masks on.
But but why is that wrong? That what do we call? What do they call?
They don't even really have like a name yet. It's like a tribal character.
Hello?
It's like a tribal character.
Okay, why is it? I just don't see why it's bad that the tribal character has dreads. Because tribal people today still
What is a tribal people, Chevar?
I mean, there are people who still live in tribes and villages.
Where and who?
Islands in the Pacific. I mean, all around the world, there are tons of people who still live in societies where they don't wear t-shirts.
I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. I don't know where else to go with this besides you just don't make caricatures of specific like people. Like I don't know. I just don't. I don't think that they have to change the skin tone necessarily. I just feel like the dreadlocks and the weird like they're clearly not researched or anything masks or like don't. I don't think that any sort of character in a video game should be based purely on a stereotype and not, you actually doing what you're supposed to be doing. Because I mean, what did they say? They said we weren't aware of anything. We just made some shit. Like it's
I mean that's bullshit. And that's bullshit that they wouldn't think that somebody would be upset by that. But at the same time, okay, you have this. What does he call it? He says they are protectors of some. Guardians of some mystic region in whatever. What are they supposed to look like? Because this is I mean, people are saying this is the wrong way.
I'm just saying I've read a lot of history about dreadlocks and stuff and just overall different things about depiction of people in media and everything. One thing about dreadlocks is that people love to use it to describe either savage or unruly or destructive behavior. And also it's basically literally just a caricature of whatever they think a tribal person is, and it includes these stereotypes that they don't need to have in there. If they're going to do it, they need to either have it researched or do it well. It's not based on anything. It's based on what do we think a savage person looks like. That's what I think is wrong with it. It's not based on anything. It's just what do we think these people look like. Okay, cool, they're crazy and have dreadlocks and have weird masks and stuff. And they have little, blow darts look like joints because that's all people with dreadlocks do to smoke weed.
So now you say those blow darts kind of look like joints.
Yeah. No, I mean, like that's the thing is like, I get it. Like throughout history, people have made stereotypes as like jokes or like to poke fun at things, and like I get it. It's part of human nature. We do it to make jokes. We do it to make points as well. There's ways people do it in like reactionary ways. But I just feel like, there comes a point where if you're going to do something, you need to either put intention to it unless you're blatantly trying to make fun of something, or you need to step back. It's one or the other. Like you either go balls deep in a joke or you give something the respect it needs.
What I'm asking from you is, say you're the lead art design guy for the team. What do you change? What do you change, or what do you change it to?
You maybe look up some actual designs of tribal people and stuff and try to change it to that. Or maybe look up some actual shit and use that design instead of just,
Well, what if they're going for like a fantasy thing? Because they said they weren't necessarily...
Oh, fantasy thing? Fuck it. Throw it out the window. Do some different shit.
Like what? I'm asking.
Make some masks that are not directly from something, but inspired by something else. Or give them a weird hairstyle that has nothing to do with dreadlocks or whatever your perception of whatever a quote-unquote tribal or savage person is. Like, I don't know. That's just, I feel like if that's the case, you're not trying to base on anything or anything like that, and you just want it to be its own thing, then why would you base it off stereotypes? Why don't you just go for something new that is based on something real?
looking at the I'm looking at the Reddit for this game. Here's one post. Devs, I swear, if you change your game due to an idiot, apologize. Why apology? Okay. What? Hold on. Let me read this a little bit to get a voice for this guy. All right. Why apologies? If you apologies, then that means the guy was right. So it was your purpose to use this kind of models, huh? To laugh about it? I mean, you can laugh. It's hilarious, not offensive, but it's subjective, correct? In parentheses. I don't think so. I'm sorry, but I'm done with this kind of idiot. And worse, when people see something cool, this idiot will change people's mind because PPL don't think by. I'm reading you the comment by themselves, and now you'll be in trouble. So please don't do this to you. Don't do this to us. Maybe this idiot is sensitive to everything that's happened, but it's not a reason. There's nothing explicitly offensive.
Yeah, so I mean, my thing, I love people like this because there's been
this... Hold. It's not finished. Wait.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to know.
Hold on. For those type of guys who want to say, "Oh my, OMG, white speech, etc., surprise! I'm a black guy, but who cares? I'm human as we all are." Man, people.
I love when people on Reddit are like, also, I am black. Like, no, you're not, dude. Like the lie to me.
I mean, it doesn't matter if he's black or not. That boy cannot write.
Yeah, I mean, and also,
he's black, he's making us all look bad. He didn't learn how to go back and type on a keyboard.
Comments like that made me laugh because it's like, I just love when people refuse to, like, understand context of things because it's like when people tell you, I mean, it even goes like to police brutality shit right now, right? Like people are always like, oh, well, I mean, we've tried to fix it before, or like, it's not that serious. Why are y'all so mad about it? And it's like, well, because, you know, history matters and stuff. It's like people are like, oh, well, let's just, you know, reform the police. And it's like, well, we tried doing that already. But I'm just going to get on my soapbox. I'm going to keep going with that. But yeah, no, I mean, I feel like it's just, I don't know. I feel like it was tone deaf. I don't feel like these guys were maliciously trying to like make fun of anybody or like poke fun at any specific cultures or anything. I feel like most people, when they do stuff like this, they're not trying to do that. But I mean, you know, it just takes a little bit more forethought. And if you try and go for a total fantasy thing, then, you know, make your fucking tribe as fantasy as it fucking can and don't rely on outdated stereotypes. But I mean, I just thought it was funny because I didn't even see this the day of. Apparently this was happening the day of the stream, and I didn't catch wind of this till like 2 or 3 days later.
I saw it the moment it popped on the stream. I knew people were going to be upset. But to me, like, it's one of the smallest things because it's weird to me because of this kind of stereotype and every other one we let slide all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Every time.
Oh, yeah. Constantly.
So it's just, to me, it's like, if it's not like if you let it slide, you should always let it slide. But it's more like we can, if I thought we were at the point where we're going to focus on other things, bigger things than, you know, some tribal depiction in a video game having dreadlocks and a mask that, from what I could see, I saw 3 pictures of 3 of the guys. Only one of them has like the lips. I get it. It is, a stereotype and all of that, but you know, it's kind of like, how big of a deal is it really? And then on the other side, like I'm reading these comments of people that are just so angry. For example, devs who are able to betray their artistic vision because a soy boy complained on Twitter, they are not true artists. They can never be trusted again. We're not buying this game. Like, I just think it's all too extreme.
It's extreme because one, they weren't going to buy that fucking game in the first place, and 2, listen, like nobody cares if like they didn't care before the controversy about it came up. They didn't give a shit about their character design, so they don't care.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, that's not why you're buying the game. Now, if we're talking about DOA and titties, that's a different thing.
Completely different thing. Totally different thing. That's free.
I mean, it's a completely different thing. That's why we buy the games. You can remove my tatas from my game. We're gonna have to have a talk.
I mean, you know, I just gamers are so funny to me because I just feel like I love seeing people being like, this game is gonna be censored, bro. You weren't even gonna play that fucking game. Like, why are you acting like you care?
Like, to me, censorship it's not censorship because it's voluntary, first of all. And if they feel like, because what was the game? Kingdom something,
Yeah.
right? And that guy, like, there are no black people in the game, and he's like, because it's based on Ukraine or whatever, back in whatever 1,000 years ago, and people were like, well, it's racist because there are no white people or black people in the game, and then all the far right dudes were like, we're gonna buy this game because of it. The guy didn't change his game, right?
Oh yeah, no, he didn't change the game.
Like, it's your choice to change it or not. I think it's fine for people to feel upset about it, whether it's justified. That's a debate.
It's their choice, and I mean, it's their choice. And the thing is that's the thing. They clearly chose to change this. And I get it. People like to say this thing where they're like, wow, you just did it to make Twitter happy. And it's like, okay, guys, listen. These guys don't give a fuck about what Twitter thinks the day of. If they want to change it, they'll change it. Like, they if they wanted to, they probably wouldn't even put this fucking statement out. Because guess what? This is a third-party game. This isn't just like a PS5 game or anything like that. These dudes, like, they could have just ignored this and kept the shit the same. And guess what? This game would have came out and nobody would have said shit. So...
yeah, and you know what? There's a good chance they won't change very much. I mean, they might get rid of the masks.
They might literally just make them white and give them different haircuts, and that's it. And it'll be all the same exact designs.
Yeah, I mean,
like I said, I don't see the point in changing the skin tone. I feel like that's weird. I feel like that's missing the point of why people are like, why I think it looks
point
strange.
in changing the hair, because to me, if I'm in a room with a bunch of people and we're designing this thing. To me, people who live in nature and they're not cutting their hair every 2 weeks. They're not like, yeah, to me, dreads make sense. I mean, that just makes sense to me that if you have people of the world, they're going to have dreads, or they're going to have napped hair, or they're going to be bald and just have it, all gone. Who knows?
I get that. I
mean, I just don't see.
Go ahead.
No, I see the stereotype. I just don't see the any like maliciousness in it. That's all.
No, yeah, I don't think it's malicious. I don't think it's malicious at all. It's not malicious. And what it really boils down to is that people are heightened right now. Like, their sense of like awareness of these things is heightened because everything that's going on. Like, I think it's really funny because I've been seeing people point things out in media and stuff that I'm like, yeah, it's been like that for years, and now just because somebody's throwing it in your face, you want to pretend you see it, but like, no, dude, like you said before, we've seen this stereotype of tribal people plenty of times play out, and nobody said shit before. But really, is just people, their awareness is heightened, and they want to feel like they want to. And also, people love to try to call things out. Ooh, they love calling people out for things.
Oh yeah, people love doing that. I mean,
so if you go back to the Schindler list thing, like what, like that didn't need to go beyond. I don't think this is like they need to go beyond LMAO. This tweet is funny, or this tweet is stupid, and then move on, or just not saying anything about it. But
that's the thing. That's why I wanted to talk about it, because it's not like I think something like 100 of the people that I follow commented on that thing, which to me, I've never had that ever happen before on my Twitter, and I follow Nazis, man.
And you follow Nazis, ew.
You got to know your enemy. I listen to Malcolm X. You got to know who's around, man. You can't just you can't circle jerk. You got to jerk outside the circle sometimes.
Okay, sure.
All right, okay.
Okay. I'm not jerking no circles. I'm not doing that.
Well, yeah, don't jerk circles.
No, not 6. I said 7. Nobody's coming up with 6. Who works out in 6 minutes? You won't even get your heart going, not even a mouse on a wheel.
Let's go to this next one. Let's go to the next one, not the Animal Crossing one.
Yeah, we should just do. You know what? This is what we're gonna do. 2 episodes a week, one for Patreon only.
What the fuck are you talking? Why are you just saying this right now? Stop.
Because
we're not doing any of this. Nobody listen to him.
Watch. I'm gonna do an ASMR.
You do it by yourself because you just springing this on us.
You know, Biko, when they say Man, that guy just can't take a joke. You ever heard that before?
Yeah, I heard it in regards to you, motherfucker.
No, it's in regards to you. Everything I say is in jest. I don't think I've ever said a truthful, honest thing in my life, ever. And you take everything like as though I'm like the Pope trying to fucking change the world. I'm just joking, man.
And as y'all all saw, Chevar just explained his mythos for why he's a lifelong troll and will never take anything seriously.
7 11s? Yeah. 7 dwarfs? 7, man, that's the number.
Why'd you skip it?
7
Why didn't you
chipmunks
just go to
growing
the
on a
topic?
ranch, eating lots of sunflowers on my uncle's ranch. You know that old children's tale from the sea? It's like you're dreaming about gorgonzola cheese when it's clearly free time, baby. Step into my office.
Oh, I was confused. I thought you said let's go to the next one.
Yeah, but I didn't mean like you had to press the next button. I just meant like we just do the next topic, my guy. Like,
all right, PlayStation 5 UI
just play the noise.
PlayStation 5 UI is reportedly.
Now looks like we have a missing topic.
100% over. I'll just play number 7 again. We got one more.
You're fucking production expert. I swear to God.
Hey, you got
Continue.
choppy video here, so don't talk to me.
Continue.
All right, get your capture game up.
Continue.
Boy. Sony VP of design at PlayStation, Matt McLaren, confirmed that the PlayStation 5 software interface will be, quote, very interesting evolution of the upcoming UI is a little more pragmatic.
What does that mean?
Fuck, I don't know. I think pragmatic, maybe.
I mean, all he showed us was the press PlayStation button thing on the thing, and I don't.
But 100% overhaul from the PS4 UI. So, what are you expecting with this UI? I remember the first time I saw the PlayStation 4's UI. I was in Korea.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to Korea specifically to get a PlayStation 4 because Japan was on some bullshit and they weren't going to have a PlayStation 4 for another like 3 months or something like that after.
Well, I mean, okay, so.
And when I saw it, I just said, "Oh, it's a PSP."
Well, I mean, I feel like it works the way it's supposed to. Well, the PSP, I mean, the PSP was just the PS3 though, so it's.
Yeah.
Do you remember the PSP? The PSP was the PS3.
Yeah, the PSP was a PS3, but
it was the exact same UI. Like exactly the same UI.
But this one's got pictures. That's different.
My fucking God. No, so it's nothing like that. I don't think that they're similar at all. They're similar in some ways, but no, it's not. So because before they used to have everything split by categories, now all the applications are just on the front page. You can put them in folders, and at the top you can go to different categories. That's completely different from the UI before, right? Everything was on the same menu. So I like the switches. The Switch and the PS4 UI are very similar, and I like them for that reason. Because you can get right to the fuck to what you want to. You don't have to scroll through menus or go through anything, or if your folders there, they're right there. I don't want them to mess with it too much. I really don't want them to change it because I don't want it to be like the Xboxes. Because I don't know if you've seen Xbox's UI. They changed it like 3 or 4 times in the past 5 or 6 years, but it is awful and it is scrambled and it is all over the place. And to this day, Xbox users hate the UI on the Xbox. And I mean, I just want it the simpler the better. If they even kept it mostly like the PS4, which they said they're not going to, but just keep it simple. They just need to keep it simple. I don't need, 50 menus. I just need folders, and that's really all.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing. Keep it simple. I don't know what I would want more. Like I want the PlayStation Store to load faster. That would be nice. I want my friends list and things to load better. That would be nice. Like that kind of stuff I want. But I'm fine with how it is now. It would be cool I like that the look of the console has been so strange. It would be cool if the UI also has like a funky kind of feel to it, but it needs to be usable. If it just needs to work right, and if it doesn't work right, then it's pointless. I'm also interested in what the Xbox is going to look like because I'm sure they're not going to change very much. It's probably going to be the same.
They already said they're not going to change it very much at all. They're pretty much just they're gonna build upon what they already have, which I've seen multiple Xbox people say they don't like that because nobody likes the Xbox UI. So, like, and I've seen the Xbox UI. I don't entirely understand why some people don't like it. I do see that it is a lot more complex than like the Switch and the PlayStation.
It's hard to find your games.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I heard it's hard to find your games, and PlayStation, Nintendo, you don't have that problem. All your games are right fucking in front of your face, and you scroll down in the menu.
I just want to know what they're gonna do with dynamic themes and stuff because I got a lot of them. I'm sure they won't. And the screen goes up a little bit, like some dynamic pretty shit. So I hope they have something else you can do with that,
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, they might make it to that themes are ported over. That would be cool, but
I doubt it.
I mean, probably not. But I mean, I don't see them do anything too nuts. I just hope they keep it simple because I've always liked the PS4's setup. I don't spend too much time in the UI. I get straight to what I want to. I either go to the store, I go to my game, or get my trophies or something like that. It's always super easy to get to. It's not a hassle. I just hope this one keeps up that tradition because PS3 wasn't bad. I just felt like it was never really like pretty to look at. Like,
yeah,
it was pretty ugly. And I mean, PS2 didn't really have anything. I mean, we didn't really get real UIs for these consoles until the 360 and the PS3 and the Wii.
It felt like the way the PS3 was organized, the games took about as much space as music and the internet browser, and
nothing was prioritized. It all was just on this grid.
It wasn't a grid.
It was a grid with folders in it.
It was more like a tree system.
A tree, even worse. Like, yeah, I felt like they could have just done a lot better with it.
This one isn't that different. It's just it starts you with your applications instead of starting you at the top with. I mean, it's the same thing. It's just
it makes the games front. It makes the applications front and center, which I think is exactly what you should do with. I feel like video games should take the same approach that phone apps do, except simplify it, which is exactly what the PS4 UI did. It's all your shit that you want to use on the front screen, and you can get to it quickly. It's not, you got to go. I mean, imagine if on your phone, every time you open it up, it was on the home screen. You got to go into the menu to go find the app you want to use in a different folder and all this. No, you just open your phone up and you click on it.
Some people's Android phones are like that,
which is shitty. Like, I have a Samsung that's like that, and it's the worst thing in the world. Like, that's why all my apps are on the front screen. Like, I'm not trying to open my phone up or open my PlayStation up and take 20 minutes or 30 minutes to look for the thing I want. Like, not really that long, but like an extra 20 or 30 seconds that it could have easily just been spent clicking X on the thing I was going to use anyway. Because, like, even this morning when I went to play Lost Legacy, I haven't even touched that game. I knew exactly where it was. It took me 3 seconds to start it up. So, yeah. I mean, I just hope to keep it simple. That's all I hope for.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
This is yours.
Okay, so Xbox Series X Smart Delivery will also carry your save data across different consoles. So basically, Xbox gave a little more description about how Smart Delivery will work, which is basically if you buy a game for Xbox One, it'll work for Xbox Series X and other consoles. So, and PC as well. So it said currently announced games that support Smart Delivery, and this is an article from IGN, are Halo Infinite, Cyberpunk 2077, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Destiny 2, Dirt 5, which Destiny 2 released a big update last week where they said they're moving to next-gen consoles. Scarlet Nexus, Chorus, Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodlines 2, Yakuza Like a Dragon, The Ascent, Call of the Sea, Gears of War 5, and some other games. So the thing is, though, is that smart delivery, apparently there are going to be games that you can't immediately carry over. So it should be noted. So in the article, it says it should be noted that not all games will have smart delivery, and those that do won't have it from day one. For example, Cyberpunk 2077 releases in September, but CD Projekt Red will not have an upgraded Series X version of the game ready for the console's release. However, when it does, the standard Xbox One version of the game installed on your Series X will be automatically updated with the enhancements. It's basically all designed to be hassle-free as possible. So, long story short, you can play your Xbox One X games on your Xbox Series X, but you may not get that upgraded version for a while, and you may just be running the Xbox One X version. Which, I mean, I actually watched. What were you gonna say?
It still seems a little unclear for me if I'm getting an upgraded version of my Xbox One game or if I'm getting the Xbox Series X version. Because the way they always say, go.
Well, so what they're saying is that you're getting the Xbox Series X version. So when you buy the game, it should work on all three consoles, but when you play on Xbox Series X, it will be the Xbox Series X version. What this article is saying that when you get the Xbox One X version of a game, if the Xbox Series X version isn't out yet, you will be running an upgraded version of the Xbox One X version. Does that make sense?
No. One more time.
Okay, so one more time. Cyberpunk 2077, right?
Don't read it. Explain it to me.
I'm not reading it. I'm explaining it to you. Let me talk.
You got one of those journalists.
Cyberpunk 2077, right? Comes out in September. You buy it on Xbox One X. You get an Xbox Series X. You play that game on your Xbox Series X, One X Series X, right? You're playing the Xbox One X version, but on your Series X. Only because the Xbox Series X version isn't out yet. When the Xbox Series X version comes out, when you play it on your Xbox One X, you're playing the Xbox One X version. When you play on your Xbox Series X, though, you're playing the Series X version. So when you buy one game for one console, it works across all of them with their respective versions, as long as those versions are released at that time.
Is Cyberpunk not going to be out for the Xbox One X when the Xbox One X launches?
That is what they're saying. That's what the article said. They won't have.
When does Cyberpunk come out?
September.
When does the Xbox come out?
November.
So when the Xbox One X launches, there will not be a Cyberpunk ready.
That is what yes. Are you gonna keep repeating it?
That's a shock and surprise to me.
Yeah, so like I said, Cyberpunk 2077 releases in September, but CD Projekt Red will not have an upgraded Series X version of the game ready for the console's release. So that's what I'm saying. That's why Sony, I think this is exactly why Sony told people by July, whatever, you need to have your fucking game ready for PS5 because we're not doing that shit. So I think that what it is that for Sony, whatever things come out after that point or whatever, they need to be optimized for PS5, right? So I don't know, but I think that also means that the PS5 may be getting, I mean, does that mean that the PS5 version of 2077 is coming out later too? Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that doesn't, I was assuming that
I think that's exactly what that means, actually.
I was assuming both consoles would launch with Cyberpunk because Cyberpunk is out before the consoles are out. So when, like...
No, apparently not. Apparently it's not coming out with the consoles. So what'll happen is if you get, like, let's say you get, and this will work the same for Xbox, but let's say you get Cyberpunk 2077 for your PS4 Pro in the fall, and then you try to play it on your PS5 in November. It will play it. It'll just be it'll be your PS5 running a PS4 game.
But is PlayStation 5 doing smart delivery? I don't think they are.
Yeah, no, they already said that, Chevar. They said that the games, like, they already have most of their games playable on PS4. Most of their PS4
No. I know. But if I buy that Cyberpunk on PS4, I get a PS5. I can play it on the PS5. I get that.
Yes.
But that version going to be the same as the version that's going to come out for PlayStation 5?
Yes.
PlayStation hasn't said that, have
Yes,
they?
that's what
Where?
PlayStation has been. That's what PlayStation has been saying. So PlayStation is doing the same thing as Xbox when it comes to the smart delivery stuff. When you buy a game for PS4, it should also work on PS5, and you should go get the upgraded version of it, right? They're doing the same thing, but in the future, what it'll be is that you can buy a game on PS4 on PS5 and play on your PS5. You can also buy a game on PS4 and play on your PS5. But it's going to be at the point where you're going to want to buy the PS5 version, because why would you do that? I mean, or rather, it doesn't really matter which version you buy, is what it sounds like. Because as far as Xbox Series X is concerned, it's the same thing. Like, you buy Cyberpunk 2077, you can play that Xbox One X version on the Xbox Series X until the Xbox Series X version comes out. So I don't know this for sure, just based on what Sony has said recently. It is supposed to be the same thing for Sony, but I mean, we'll see. I
don't care. When I get a PlayStation 5, I'm not ever buying another PlayStation 4 game. So
I'm only gonna buy a PlayStation 4 game if it's only for PlayStation 4. If it came out before the PlayStation 5 came out, like years before that, I'll buy it on PlayStation 4. But like, even then, I'm playing it on my PS5, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, no, I thought that was interesting. It's interesting.
Okay. Two weeks ago, we told you we were going to give you a top 5 and top 5 of the top fidelity looking and top aesthetic games. And this is happening. I'm going to go ahead and bet money that my games are better than his games.
Okay, sure, buddy.
What do you want to start with? You going with aesthetic?
Well, I'll go with aesthetic first. I mean, I don't know. Are we supposed to rank these? I have fidelity.
It doesn't have to be ranked. It's just got to be the top 5. There are no 5 above.
Fidelity. Okay, number 5
top 5
fidelity.
all time.
Wow, number 5 fidelity. Okay. I would say, if I'm going to say number 5 for fidelity on PS4 specifically, I would say. Did you have any criteria for these games? Yes. So when I'm looking for fidelity, I'm looking for games that have a lot of detail. They run well. You can see everything very clearly. The art style it's not to the point where the art style clashes with the fact that the game isn't detailed, right? When I'm looking for aesthetic, I'm looking for that I like the art style more than however detailed the game may be, right? That's what I'm looking for in terms of these. So as far as, and I don't know, I'm going to disclaim this by saying that I have a top 5, but I don't necessarily think one is better than the other one. If I do say one is better than the other one, I'm going to clarify that. But as far as aesthetic on PS4, I would say that
fidelity first. That's a boring one.
Fidelity? We're doing fidelity?
Yeah, I'm sure fidelity would be pretty similar. Because for me, I only chose games that I've played.
You only chose games that you played? Oh, yeah, no, me too. Okay.
I chose games that I played, and it has to run well, and it has to do what it says it's trying to do. And that's for both aesthetics and fidelity. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm counting now. I was a little. I don't have 10, but I'll figure that out. I don't know.
Well, I do want to clarify that, like I said, I'll let you know which one I think are better. But if as far as we're going for number 5, for my aesthetic pick, I'm going to go ahead and go with man, this is a hard one actually. As far as aesthetic,
you didn't even. I see. You should have planned this, boy.
Well, no, okay.
And I thought
I know I have my list. I just don't know if I want to move this one or not because
mine is in no particular order.
Okay, yours in no particular order. Okay, cool. I don't know particular order. My first one is Bloodborne. Bloodborne is probably one of my favorite games.
After I said 3 times fidelity, you went to aesthetic. Okay, let's go.
Oh, we're doing it fidelity. Okay, fidelity then.
Nah, bruh.
No. I'm going fidelity. We'll go back to the aesthetic. Fidelity, I'm going with Spider-Man. That's one of mine. I think that game, I've been replaying it a lot too. I think that's one of the best looking games on any system right now, just purely like how they built it, how well the game works in terms of all the combat and stuff, and how well it renders everything. The city looks beautiful. All the shadows are smooth. There's not like a weird pixel out of place. And
I have Spider-Man too.
Yeah, no, the game is beautiful. It's a beautiful game. I'm replaying it for the last time just to get the last 2 trophies. But I
mean, yeah, it's really it's detailed more than usual because if you're Spider-Man, you're usually in the air flying around, and of course it looks great up there. But you hit the streets, it looks good. The rooftops. I mean, it looks like New York, like a real New York.
Yeah, not
just Manhattan or I mean, it's New York, and it's cool. And I think the cost. I mean, the details they put in the characters are what makes it really nice. You kind of wish every open world put that much detail in. I wish.
Did you know that on Sundays or Saturdays, I think none of the Jewish characters are walking around the city?
Yes, I know.
Yeah. It's like it's cool details like that, but also like you're right. Like the character models look really good. Even like just the human versions of, like not the human versions, but like Spider-Man out of his mask, or like Mary Jane and Yuri look really good. Like their facial animations are amazing. Like they did a really good job.
The indoor environments are nice too. Like there's just lots of detail, which is good. I do wish that some of the generic stuff, even though it looks fine, were less generic. I wish there were more faces for enemies. I wish there were more, like they, that's not the most important thing. But those are games that you play for hours, doing the same thing over and over again.
Right.
It does kind of rock that sack a little bit.
Right. Okay, cool. Yeah, I agree.
It rocks the nutsack in a bad way. Or like a yeah.
I felt like it was a good balance for what Spider-Man needed. Like I've been playing the newest Spider-Man a lot recently, and it really just solidified that it is the best Spider-Man game I think since Ultimate. Like by far, it is just a lot better than any other Spider-Man game we've gotten before.
Yeah, but that's not that hard to say.
No. It's not that hard to say, and it's just cool to see that they were able to pull off something that got the feel of Spider-Man without being too cartoony, which is what I felt was a huge problem with a lot of the Spider-Man games before the PS4 one. It's way too cartoony, things were too floaty, and then they finally got it grounded with this one.
All right, next.
All right, what about you?
No, keep going.
Okay, all right, so as far as fidelity, I'm also going to say Uncharted 4 / Uncharted Lost Legacy. I'm going to give them both the same thing. Sorry, dude. Sorry, I know you haven't played it, but you need to play one or both of them. I beat Uncharted 4 in a week because it just kept me hooked when I was playing it. But yeah, no, dude. I was playing Lost Legacy. I started Lost Legacy today, and there's a moment where you're first in the car because it's a small open world game, and you get to like this cliff and you get to see the entire jungle. That game is fucking nuts. And The Last of Us has the same thing. Like the vegetation looks crazy, the lighting looks insane, like coming through different angles and stuff. And even like when characters move and all the combat and everything, the animations don't get too.
Bro, you ain't even played it in 4K yet, dog.
Exactly. No, and I think that proves my point even more because I have a regular PS4 and I've seen Lost Legacy in 4K. Like I know what it looks like in 4K. I'm playing it in 1080p right now, and it looks fucking nuts. Like it is like truly one of the best looking games I've ever seen. Same goes. Uncharted 4 looks the same. Like I feel like Uncharted 4 is on the same level as Lost Legacy in terms of graphics. But yeah, the character details are insane in Uncharted 4. Like I feel like over the course of the Uncharted franchise, we have a face for Nathan Drake, but in 4 he felt like a real fucking person. Like it was insane. And not only like all the storytelling stuff, but just like the different landscapes, how they handle the open world stuff, how throughout Uncharted, like, yes, it's an on rails game, but it's not so on rails where the environments don't look natural. Like, you know where you need to go because they design it well, but it looks beautiful. Like, and I've noticed that a lot of Naughty Dog games recently, that's kind of like, you know, the thing is like, it's on rails, but it's not on rails, and you can kind of tell where you're going, but it's not like screaming at you the whole time. And Uncharted did a really good job at that, because it was like every time I played that game, I felt like I was like in the world, or like watching a movie or some shit. Highly recommend Uncharted 4 if you haven't played it yet, which it was free on PlayStation Plus, and Lost Legacy was also free, I think, at one point. So if you haven't played those yet, you need to play them. They're really fucking good. But yeah, I feel like Uncharted was just a big leap too from Uncharted 3. Like, for Uncharted 4 from 3 was a gigantic leap. I think if somebody told me they think Uncharted 4 is the best looking game on PS4, I wouldn't argue with them. It definitely could be up there.
All right, what's next?
I would say Horizon Zero Dawn.
You played that?
Yeah, I did play it. I re-downloaded it because I need to keep playing it. But no, that game looks fucking nuts, dude. It looks nuts. And
is this nutser than Uncharted 4 or nutser than Spider-Man?
I like the way Uncharted 4 looked more personally. Like, personally, I thought Uncharted 4 looked better. But at the same time, like, I feel like the only thing that I didn't like about Horizon Zero Dawn, and this is the thing I got clowned about when it first came out too, is that, you know, the faces don't look great sometimes. And there are some weird facial animations, and that's about the only wrong thing. But the environments themselves, how like alive everything looks really fucking good in Horizon Zero Dawn. And I don't know, it's like when you turn it on, it's one of those things where it's like, wow, like games can look this good. And it's because, you know, everybody knows the technique they use with Horizon Zero Dawn. Like, the game only renders what's directly in front of you, and as you switch your camera view, the game is rendering everything in front of you, and everything behind you is like loading out. So, you know, they have their tricks, they know how to use them well. And I was even watching a comparison video today of Horizon Zero Dawn with the next Horizon game, and they weren't that far off. Like, it's nuts. That game looks great. Looks insane.
All right, another one.
Let's go with God of War. 100%.
What's this, number 4?
Yeah. I mean, do you agree? Do you think God of War is up there?
Yeah, I have God of War in there.
Yeah. God of War looks fucking. It looks nuts. It just looks. I feel like it was partly because
you said that like 6 times in the past.
It looks fucking nuts. Well, I mean, for God of War, I feel like what it was is that it was a big jump from the last time we saw God of War, but also, I mean, it was able to keep. I don't know. When I think of God of War, I think of like the realism of it, even though it's a very non-realistic game, and only because the environments were designed so well, the character models were done really, really well.
Yeah, that's true and all, but I think the most impressive thing with it is that it does the one camera, no cut kind of thing throughout the whole game.
Oh,
which just makes it feel more like you just feel more connected to what's going on. And the game looks great.
It's a lot more grand.
There's a lot of stuff going on in it, and the particle effects and all that junk. Yeah. Oh my god! The environments are rad and all that, but I think that's what really shows what the game off. Because like you're in the third person, over the shoulder for most of the time.
Yeah.
It's really hard to. I mean, if you take the time, pull out the camera mode thing, you can see all the detail and everything, which is really cool. But like playing, you don't get to see that. But they do a really good job of while you're playing and moving through the single camera thing. Mm-hmm. That's what really shows off how nice it is. I think that's why it's on my list.
Oh, for sure. No, it's very seamless because I remember playing it for the first time and going from cutscene to section was. It's all really well connected the way they do it. And I mean, also I felt like the scale of the game was done very well. Like the fucking world serpent and all that shit, and like how that like aspect plays into the game was done stupid well considering what they were working with. Because I mean, there's some of the, like this game and Last of Us Part 2, which Last of Us was in the same situation. I feel like the original one, I feel like they would run like these could be like, you know, what's it called, launch games for the next consoles if, you know, they had the proper hardware, and the PS5 would actually be able to run it the way it needs to be run, if that makes sense.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they look good. What's your last one?
Red Dead Redemption 2.
What?
Yeah. What
Explain this one to me. Explain this one to me.
That game's fucking. Have you ever seen that game on 4K?
Yeah, I have it on the.
Dude, that game is beautiful. Have you? Oh wait, no. Wait, have you even played Red Dead Redemption 2?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. No, that game is at nighttime. The way that game makes moonlight look is fucking like. I haven't seen a game do that before. Like the nighttime sections in that game. I remember the original Red Dead Redemption. I felt the same way about it too. I know people talk shit about Rockstar games in the past. They used to have pasted-on faces for all the character models. But I feel like the facial animations, the way that nature moves, how they populate towns, and how well that works with the rest of the environment, I think that's an amazing-looking game. I didn't think it looked that great until I saw it in 4K. But I think that the game looks really, really, really good. That's in my top 5 for sure, I would say.
The game does look good. It, especially like in the same way that Spider-Man kind of is impressive because it is an open world thing and there's so much detail. The game has lots of detail and it's open world. But it does look good. But like fidelity wise, I don't know.
You gotta relook at that game.
I haven't played it
on
my new
beautiful.
TV. My new TV.
You haven't played on? Then play it on your play it on your new TV. It looks beautiful. That game is insane.
Well, okay, so you had 2 of the same games I did, and I don't have a 5th game yet. I haven't.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't played enough.
You're talking all that shit. All right, what are your other games? What's your other game
then? Devil May Cry 5, I think is. I think
I know you played that one.
Yeah, I did. Capcom in their new little engine thing. I mean, I think they do shit with hair, like long hair on women. I think it looks really bad, but
I think it does in most games. Honestly, I'm playing through some Naughty Dog games right now. It does not look that good.
Capcom's in particular, like it looks like, when you were a child and they gave you that little wire with all the fuzzy fucking things through it, like blue or green, and you bend it to make stuff. That's what Capcom women's hair looks like. It's really bad. But other than that, Devil May Cry 5 just looks so cool. The aesthetic is great already, but like,
have you beat it, by the way? I just want to know.
No. The effects when you're hitting the enemies, how smooth it is, how it still loads like Devil May Cry does or whatever, but like it's kind of crazy looking at it, and like you're sitting there using what's his name, Nero.
Nero.
Yeah, Nero in the cutscene, and it just pulls out, and you're playing, and it's the same model, like it's really cool, and it looks really good. I like how they captured the faces or animated the stuff, but Devil May Cry is really impressive looking to me. And it just keeps going. Like it's not like it's easy, it's levels and stuff, but you wish every Devil May Cry looked like that. I mean, all the Devil May Cry games are good. I even like Devil May Cry 2, you fuckers. But
I to this day I still do not understand the hate Devil May Cry 2 gets. I can't wrap my head around it.
I mean, I know why. It's not as good as it's not the same flavor as 1. It's not as good as 3. It's not. It just focus. It makes you do things that the other games don't make you do. and it emphasizes it like you can't continue combos with the guns, and it changes stuff. But I like to. I have fun playing it. Anyway, Devil May Cry 5 is a really, really good looking game. You haven't played it?
No, I haven't. I know we have it. I haven't played it yet, though. I'm trying to beat.
When you play it, you'll see. You'll be like, oh.
Oh no, I've seen like gameplay before. It looks fucking nuts.
No.
It looks insane.
No. Watching gameplay of anything on YouTube or stream is not the same because
it's not the same as playing it. It never is. And
it's balls compared to actually playing.
Well, I'm trying to get through the special edition of Devil May Cry 4. I never played the Virgil campaign. I never played the other girls' campaign. So I'm trying to beat those first before I go to 5.
The last game I can think of for Fidelity, and there are lots of good looking games, but I just haven't played that many games in the past 2 years, is Drive Club. This
really?
Is surprise, shocking. Yeah, Drive Club is a wonderful looking game.
Really?
Even though you can't buy it anymore, even though it hasn't even had an update for PlayStation 4. Hello, Kolonica. It doesn't even have an update for PlayStation 4 Pro, and it's still you go in there and you drive through some of the cherry blossoms, and I still pop it on every once in a while. I still have it. It's a really yeah. It's a beautiful looking car game.
Okay, I trust your judgment. All right.
It is, and if they did keep up with it, and I think Sony just decided this whole subscription life game thing, this was a test. They didn't like how it was going. They jumped out. They throw money into Gran Turismo. Yeah, Drive Club is a really, really good looking game. It could look better, yeah, but it's one of the first PlayStation 4 games when I turned it on. I was like, wow, that's impressive. Because when the PlayStation 4 first came out, there was Knack, there was Drive Club, there was what's London 1887? What is that?
That didn't come out too much later. The Order.
I think
the Order didn't come out too much later. Actually, I think Bloodborne came out before The Order did.
I think The Order came out within the first year.
No. The Order was at the next fucking E3 after the PS4 came out.
Yeah,
February 2015, dude. PlayStation 4 came out 2013.
Okay, a year and 2 months. All right. There you go.
Yeah, that's nowhere near launch.
Anyway, Drive Club is a really good looking game. It was the first impressive game I saw on PlayStation.
Okay, that's an interesting choice. I totally forgot that game existed.
Fucking game where your little boy in the woods. That's not impressive to see, you know. And Knack, I played Knack. That's how I got my girlfriend, Knack.
Wow, you tricked her hard. Okay. What about aesthetic? What do you got?
All right, aesthetic. Also, I couldn't think of 5.
Oh my god.
You know what? For fidelity, I'll put another game. That Senua game. What's that?
Senua's Sacrifice Hellblade.
The one by the people who made Hellblade, but they don't want to make a Hellblade sequel. That one. That's a good looking game.
Wait, what do you mean the people who made Hellblade don't want to make a Hellblade? They are making a Hellblade sequel. It's just only for Xbox.
No. Remember Hellblade?
No.
You don't remember PlayStation 3 exclusive Hellblade launch game where you play the girl?
That's not the name of the game, Chevar. It's called Heaven something.
Doesn't matter. Heavenly Sword,
Chevar. That's a complete no. You can't. No, that's not the same. It's literally not the same thing. You can't get mad at me for not knowing what you're talking about. You're not saying what it is.
It's the exact opposite thing, which makes it even more the same.
It's literally not even made by the same people.
Heavenly Sword, Hell's Blade.
Okay,
come on.
You know that those things aren't actually related, right?
I know they're not related, but it's the same people.
Okay, continue. No, it's not the same people, but continue.
Absolutely the same people.
No, it's not. Santa Monica made Heavenly Sword. They make fucking God of War. They're not making a game only for Xbox. Sorry.
Nah, bro. I'm going to prove you wrong.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah, that game looked good.
Okay.
Aesthetic. My number one aesthetic game is Bloodborne.
Yeah, same.
it hits all the right. I mean, yeah, it's got that dark feeling and all that, but like the armor, I like it. It like the themes that go on, I likes it.
And it gets better as you learn what's going on too.
And the thing is, it doesn't stick with the same theme either. Like, and that's always what I don't like that much about the Dark Souls is that the theme is kind of old, medieval, almost, castles, dragons, and it doesn't really stray too far from that. I mean, there are lots of different enemy types and things, but like nothing, you don't see anything and you're like, whoa, what's that, right? But like in Bloodborne, when you get to the Celestials and like everything, every new thing you see blows your mind.
The game gets fucking trippy as you keep going.
The dog crows and the crow dogs. I mean, it's
the game gets weirder and weirder, and I liked it because I never beat it. I got really close to beating it, but I'm gonna actually start over soon. But what I like about it is that everybody has this vision of Bloodborne, and it's always Yharnam. Like that's what people like to think of when they first think of Bloodborne. But there's so much other shit in that game, like the stuff about Canehurst or all like the weird Hunter's Dream shit you find. Like it's all the cryptic shit is what I like about Bloodborne.
Right. The environment tells you so much about the game already, and it's just cool.
Yeah, no,
and you can always go back, and then you go to the chalices, which feel like a completely different game. You didn't do the chalices.
No, I did some chalices.
Yeah, but you didn't do the chalices.
I know. The chalices are a completely different thing, but yeah, no, it's a good game. It was my first Souls. Well, okay, Demon Souls is technically my first Souls game, but Bloodborne was my first Souls game after that.
Hold on. Let's step back a second here.
Go ahead.
Heavenly Sword is a 2007 PlayStation 3 exclusive developed by Ninja Theory. Last week, UK developer Ninja Theory and built its new game, Hellblade. Oh, thank you.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, thanks for clearing that up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't know. But Bloodborne's really cool. I feel like what I like about it more than Dark Souls is only that it feels more self-contained, but it also doesn't feel like there's like, it doesn't feel like there's limited content to what you can find out about what's going on. Like and that's what makes the aesthetic cool is that the aesthetic makes you feel like you know one thing at 1 second, but the deeper you're going, the more creepy shit gets. And if you have more insight, you get to see more things. Like it's so
and
cool.
The fact that when you hit things, blood gushes out and things run at you, and I mean the way the weapons look, and that you have a shop full of, like, I think it's just a really well thought out art kind of thing that I really like. I wish there were more Bloodborne.
Yeah, no, I hope they make another one at some point. I don't think they will, but I think that the concept they went for with this one with all the H.P. Lovecraft shit and how dark it is, I like it because it's a lot more. I mean, I feel like what's cool about Dark Souls is that it does get weirder and stranger as you go in, but like I feel like with Bloodborne, it is more so like it's more deceptive than it is like, discovery. It's more so like, you think this is what this is, but it's not just vampires and shit. It's just a bunch of other crazy fucking shit going on. Oh yeah, you can also find the Hunter's Dream in the real world. Like it's just weird stuff going on in there.
That's the stuff. It's not like it just like when you put when I played Dark Souls 1, you progress through and you get to like the Rotten City thing, you get to the poison place and you see the mushrooms, but like you're just kind of encountering things. But like in Bloodborne, they incorporate the more stuff you see, technically the crazier your guy's getting, and like that's
right.
Like so much of the stuff you do, and like the fact that in a lot of the combat you'll get hit and you'll hit them back, and the lore of the blood and it healing people. When you do that, it actually heals you in the game. Like so much of the lore and stuff plays into the gameplay, which is really cool. That's what I like about it.
I love Bloodborne.
after that, somewhere in the list, Ratchet and Clank. I think Ratchet and Clank is one of the better remakes that was made during this whole
Dude, that remake is so
generation
good.
of video games. It captures
So
everything it
good.
was. It looks a million times better. It looks how you remember it, but still very impressive. It runs really well. Everything explodes perfectly. The characters feel exactly the same. I think, and of course, we don't get games like that anymore. There aren't
Yeah.
more.
There aren't a lot of the Ratchet and
platform
Clanks
shooters.
left. They've all gone realistic or something for the most part.
Right, and I think aesthetically, I just love looking at the game and playing it, and it looks great in HDR. Really, really fun. After that, I have MK11. I think
Oh fuck yeah, yeah. I have that on my list too.
I got tired of fighting games looking like cartoons a long time ago. Only because every fighting game looks like a cartoon, and MK11 isn't like the best looking game, but it looks better than almost anything I've seen on Xbox. Like it's just a really good looking game.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you're the same characters you're using look like the characters on the bot. Like when it used to be, you'd watch an opening cutscene for an arcade game or something, and there's all this animation and everything. But then when you actually play the game, it's not the cover of Doom is not what Doom is.
Right.
Like the cover of Mega Man is not what Mega Man is. But like this game, it is what it looks like. That's exactly what you're doing, and I like how cinematic it is. I like how bloody it is. I like how goofy it is, and they really easily could have gone the Street Fighter route, or the Killer Instinct route, or the Tekken route, and just give you the same thing again. It not really worry about how it looks, give you the same flavor. But like every Mortal Kombat game from 9 to 11 now, they have completely different feels, and 11 is my favorite. Like X was a little too gray.
X was so great. I didn't realize how dark X was until 11 came out, and I was like, holy shit! X is like mostly gray and black. It's nuts.
But MK11 aesthetic is great.
Yeah,
that's
it's
good. I mean, I like Monster Hunter's aesthetic, but it just doesn't look good enough for me. Like so much of it, the environments are great. I think like when you first get into the forest, like oh wow,
it looks nuts. Yeah, it looks great.
It's an entire forest. When you first get into some of the areas are great. The monsters look really good, and it's really fun to play. I just wish some of the stuff like the armor designs and the customization, it just isn't there enough. So that almost made my list of 5 that only has 3, but it didn't.
Okay.
Barely.
So it's number 4. Got it.
No, that's what I'm saying. It can't even be number 4 because it disappoints in the places where you don't want it to disappoint.
Okay.
Like that, so many weapons are just made out of bone and metal. That's disappointing because like you spend all your time making weapons, or that. I mean, it is. It's silly.
Yeah, no.
Or that it took so long to be able to transmog your stuff. Like it took over a year, something like that. 2 years. I don't know. It's just Iceborne is great too, but the parts that really impressed me are.
All right.
What do you have for aesthetic?
Persona 5 Royal. I mean, I'm just gonna say Royal because 5 looks exactly the same. But dude, that game it's never boring to look at. It's not necessarily about how detailed everything is, but as far as like, I remember playing Persona 4, and my favorite thing, and Persona 3. My favorite thing about 3 and 4 were like the menus and like how the characters interacted and how all that stuff was handled. And 5 just does that so much better. And the menus play a huge part in that because they really do like stretch the aesthetic out over the whole game. The menus are like super interactive. Like it's not just, a bunch of fucking lists of shit. It's like these like really well done animations, and it's all starkly put in red and black, and it's this big theme, and they refuse to like break away from that. And everything is done in like this super artistic, like anime paintbrush style way, but they do it really well to where like the game is just really stylish. It's a stylish ass game to play. And I mean, it does, and at the same time, the game doesn't look outdated. It doesn't look like something that shouldn't be on PS4. Like the PS3 version of the game is not the same as PS4 version. It doesn't run the same. It doesn't look the same. So yeah, Persona 5 is definitely up there for me in terms of aesthetic. I think it looks fucking great. I think it looks awesome. I wouldn't trade it for anything else. I'm trying to think of other PS4 games that.
Bruh, if you can't think of them, we gotta go.
What?
You're supposed to make a list here, buddy.
I did make a list. I mean, I think that actually does pretty much cover it for me. Those were the kind of
Just one?
The biggest.
Bloodborne and Persona?
Bloodborne, Persona, and then what'd you say? Mortal Kombat. Bloodborne, Persona, Mortal Kombat. Let me think. In terms of aesthetic. Well, okay. Well, I'll give this one I'll shoot this game some bail, even though I haven't played it in a long time. So I would say that I'm just kidding. I was about to say some shit about Overwatch. Fuck Overwatch. No, that kind of does round it out for me. I was going to say Dark Souls 3 as well, because I really love a lot of the art and stuff in Dark Souls, but I don't want to put two Souls games on the same list because, but Dark Souls 3 has a lot of stuff better than Bloodborne in terms of like scale and how like insanely like gigantic the game looks, how as you pass through it. But that was
at some point. Some point I'll play it.
Dark Souls 3?
Yeah, at some point.
You never played Dark Souls 3?
I started it. The thing with Dark Souls is like they change so much between them.
Mm-hmm.
And like I like the kind of build I had in the first one, but I'm sure I can't really make that build in the next one. So like I have to really not necessarily plan, but know what I want to do. Because I when I play RPGs, if it's like one of those 40-hour things or whatever, yeah, that's fine. I can go in like super blind and do stuff. But if I'm playing like Dark Souls, if you just like is like, okay, I want to finish this, it's maybe like the first time you play it, I don't know, 8 hours.
It's like 8 to 10 hours if you're something fast
like
about
that.
it.
Like if you just go in and like I'm just gonna play, but I'd rather like I want to know. I don't want to be completely blind when I go into them. Like I want to know what options are available to me. So that's why I don't play 3, because I just haven't looked up like what kind of builds there are.
I will say you would actually be very surprised.
I'm not gonna play it 3 times.
Well, I would also say that you would be very surprised to find that. Well, you probably know this. A lot of the reason a lot of people like Dark Souls 3 more than 2 is that it backtracks to a lot of areas in 1, and a lot of the items from 1 are still available in 3.
Yeah, I know, but
you can
I'm
make a lot of the same builds, which is what a lot of people really like about Dark Souls 3.
Well, I'm talking about more of the. Yeah, you can make the same build, but it doesn't mean it's as effective, or you know what I mean.
I get what you mean. I do want to add one more game to my list because I did kind of forget about it. I just found it. Hold up real quick. One more second.
Oh my god.
Oh, Shadow of the Colossus. Have you played the the remake of Shadow of the Colossus?
Yeah, it's good. It's
Holy
a good
shit, it looks good. That shit looks amazing. It and I don't think anybody understands how good it looks compared to the original. Because the original, that's what made it fun, was the art style more so than the like fidelity of how great the game looked, right? Because let's be real, original Shadow of the Colossus, great looking game, but not a great looking game, right? Like it had great aesthetic, had great stuff going for it, but it wasn't like, the best looking game out. But I feel like the newest Shadow of the Colossus kind of takes the best of both worlds. So you're able to have great fidelity, but you're also able to still get that art style out because nothing's too detailed. All they did was really flesh out this Colossi the main character isn't like this like super like, you know, well-defined person. Like it's still like, you know, there's still things that are less vague about it, but it's not to the detriment of the actual graphics. And that's what I like about Shadow of the Colossus. I need to finish it because I remember the first day I bought it because I got the special edition. I ran through the first 4 bosses in like an hour, so I need to actually go finish that. But yeah,
finish it.
That game is super fun. If you never played Shadow of the Colossus, it's probably super cheap on PS4 right now. I would buy it. I when I bought it, I got the special edition for like $50. I'm sure it's cheap.
All right, well, close this out.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening to the Super Chevy Bros podcast. I am Cheval Price. I do things, but Chevar Price also does things, and you can find us on Twitter at Super Chevy Bro, at Chevar P. I'm sorry, at Chevar Price. I am so sorry. At Cheval P, and on Facebook at Super Chevy Bros. And go find us on Spotify, on iTunes, wherever you're listening to this right now. Go give us a rating, like, and subscribe on there. But yeah, we're the Super Chevy Bros. Find us on YouTube too. Super Chevy Bros. That's our YouTube video channel. And yeah, anything you want to recommend, or you good, Chevar?
No, just we always do a live show at 8 on Tuesdays. So come see that. And you know, you can write into the show, you can write into us. This is supposed to be a community thing, so
Pay attention to us.
All right, that's all I got to say. I got no recommendation.
Yeah. I mean,
recommendations.
I have a few recommendations. Not
I've done them before you close the podcast.
Well, yeah, you know, yeah, it doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna say, watch Uncut Gems on Netflix. Good movie. And if you haven't seen Dave Chappelle's stand-up special 846 about the George Floyd thing, it's on YouTube. It's only 30 minutes. Pretty good. Those are the things I enjoyed this past week. So yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for listening. Catch you guys next week.